trainer, athletic trainer, nutritionist, works with some really high-powered clients, and he offered to come on and help you guys and just have casual chats about fitness and nutrition. And I believe many of you have already sat through a session with Johnny. So we're going to do a breakout room, which I'm going to lead. We're going to do some training in in the number one breakout room. Mary's going to set that up. So if you have not had a chance to hear Johnny, I highly recommend it. He's amazing. And you'll stay in this main session. If you already heard him and you want to do additional training with me, we're going to jump into the breakout room in just 1 second. So, and before we just start, I just have a couple quick announcements as well. Wait, is Tyler, you still on? Did you get a chance to talk about the coming back next week for the students who are not Seven Eagles sponsored?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay, you
mentioned
did
that
that. Good.
they're always welcome to come back. But if you want to,
Perfect.
make do the same, you're
Awesome.
welcome, obviously.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And then did you show the jobs or you need me to do that?
Yeah,
Did
we
that.
went over the job board a
Perfect.
little bit, but
Awesome.
yep.
I don't have any announcements then. All right, so I'm gonna do so just so you guys know, we have one other speaker at the end of the day at 3 o'clock. Same thing where he was just back here. I mean, he'll be returning after a lot of you have already heard him. So I'm gonna do two breakout sessions today. This first one, um, or the one at 3 o'clock I'm going to do is we're going to continue the discussion we had last week on the side hustle. I thought that was really fun. So that one's going to be all about letting you guys who are already have in your mind that you're going to do some side business while you work, while you get your first job. We're going to talk about that and we'll help you with those ideas and you can present to the group and we'll get feedback. But I thought that was extremely beneficial session last week. So I'm going to do that at 3 o'clock. And then the one I'm going to do right now, it's going to be either, wait, give me 1 sec. I'm going to give you, I wanted to give you guys well, anyway, jump into into the training session one if you want to do training and stay here with Johnny and then we'll talk. All right. Thanks, guys. And if you need help, just put in the chat and Mary can move you if you don't know how to do it. Just go down to those little 4 blocks and it says breakout rooms.
I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
You're good to go, Johnny, if you want to get
All
started.
right, cool. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for being here. If you guys have seen me in the past, please, put something in the chat because I'd love to know who's here and who's seen me before. If you haven't, that's totally great. But I'd love to know, Arnold, you've seen me before. That's awesome. If you guys have seen me already, please take some notes, write down some questions. We're gonna do a little Q&A at the end of the presentation. But Ryan, thanks for being here, man. Okay. But hopefully this will be really helpful for you guys because I know a lot of you are transitioning into civilian life. Maybe you've been serving for the last 10, 20, 30 years, and you're used to a lot of structure and a lot of routine that was kind of given to you. But now that we're on our own and we're looking for jobs and we're going through your skill bridge and things like that, it can be challenging to stay on top of your health, on top of your fitness. And in my experience, I've worked with veterans in the past. I've worked with a lot of Division I athletes as well, um, who have now, have had full-time jobs. And it is really difficult to stay on track, especially if you have a full-time job, if you have a family, things like that. I'm a vibe. Let's go, dude. But it's honestly really awesome to be here, guys. And I hope that this is going to be really helpful for all of you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick and we're going to get started. All right, we're good to go. Everyone can see this. Thumbs up, Paul, Jennifer. Cool. All right, we're all here. Cool. All right, guys. Well, my name is Johnny. I've been a health coach for over 15 years now. I've been a certified personal trainer now for over 10 years. But ever since 2019, I moved my business online and I founded the TruFit Academy. And then it was really cool. Jordy mentioned that we had met a couple of months ago on my podcast. That podcast is actually available on my YouTube channel if you guys wanted to go watch that. But he introduced me to Seven Eagle Group, and it kind of just opened up my eyes and my world in terms of like who I can help. And I know there's a lot of struggling people out there who maybe are struggling because they don't know what they need to do, they don't have any accountability, or they just don't have any kind of structure, right? So I founded the TruFit Academy because I wanted to be able to help people all over the world, which I have in different countries: India, South Africa, Canada. I've had a client in Italy at one point, all over the United States. And my goal is to basically just to educate you guys and to hold you accountable and to keep you motivated to stay on track with your health, exercise, eat good, make sure we're just living a really healthy lifestyle. So once I joined with Seven Eagle Group, I wanted to kind of shift my focus a little bit for specifically for you guys because I kind of know what you guys have been going through. I didn't serve at all. My dad did when we lived in South Africa for a little bit. But this presentation, guys, is hopefully going to help you build a sustainable civilian life that's going to keep you healthy, keep you energized, keep you confident, and mission ready. Okay. That is the wrong date. It is October 2nd, not August. Just wanted to throw that out there if you guys didn't, in case you didn't know. All right. So a little bit about me, guys. I was a swimmer all throughout college. I transitioned into triathlons. I joined the Texas A&M triathlon team, and I also coached the triathlon team for a couple years while I was there. Then I graduated with my kinesiology degree, and then I moved up to Colorado, which is where I am now. Is anyone in Colorado Springs? Just curious, because I know that's a big. I know the Air Force is down there. It's a big military base. But anyways, then I started TruFit in 2019, and after 2 years of being an online coach, I was featured in the New York City Journal, which was incredible. And so that's on my website as well if you guys wanted to go read that. And over the last couple of years, I've helped hundreds of people, but the ones that I've been trying to keep track of just because they've seen incredible results is over 200 people have lost collectively over 3,000 pounds, which is crazy. But it just kind of makes me feel good that I'm helping out the world. We're all, creating healthier lifestyles, building better mindsets. And hopefully, as I teach you, you can teach someone else and we can kind of branch off like that. So I'm here to help you guys build realistic, healthy habits that are going to fit into your life, not take it over. Because I know you have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of meetings, a lot of maybe family time or things that's on your plate. And I want to be able to make sure that you understand your body, understand nutrition, understand what you need to be doing exercise-wise, so that it's not adding more to your plate, but just we're doing this in a more strategic way so that it's not taking over your life. Okay? So the core message today, guys, is going to be you were once trained to follow certain routines, certain structures, possibly over the last 10 to 30 years. But now that we are in civilian life, no one is just going to hand you a playbook. No one is just going to, make sure you're staying on track, right? So hopefully this presentation is going to help you guys build some structure for your health, build some structure in your healthy lifestyle so that we can stay confident, fit, and in control, okay? A lot of people honestly want to get into a routine to solve a current problem, but no one ever talks about getting into a routine to prevent a future problem from happening, right? So a lot of my clients who are in their 60s usually have back problems, or they have a big gut, or they're, they just don't have as much energy, or they used to be really good at playing tennis and now they're not because their back hurts or because their elbow hurts or something. So I want to make sure, you guys, that if you guys are in your 30s or in your 40s, this is a really amazing time to get into something that's going to last forever. Okay. So the realities after service, guys, most common struggles that I have experienced, especially with veterans, but also with a lot of D1 athletes, is that you don't have a plan anymore, right? There's no one telling you what to do. You don't have structure. You don't really have an idea of what you need to be doing with your weights, with your cardio, with your nutrition, with macros, all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of information, and I totally get that. And most people want to ask ChatGPT or they want to ask, Google about what is best. But unfortunately, they don't know who you are. They don't know your body type. They don't know your schedule. They don't know your restrictions. So it's really hard to know what's going to specifically work for you. Okay. Another thing is now the food is all on you, right? In the past, maybe you had a cafeteria or you had people making food for you or whatever. You didn't really have to think about it or worry about it because you know that between all the physical activity you're doing and the food that you're eating, you're in good shape, you feel strong, you feel energized, and you guys are ready to be called if you are called, right? Um, Also, now you are transitioning, we don't have any kind of accountability. Unless you sign up for like a walking group or like a class at the gym or something to where there's a lot of people, holding you accountable, it's hard to do this if you're on your own. So what happens is the routine just completely disappears. And after 3, 5, 6, 12 months, you've picked up 30 to 50 pounds and now you don't understand what happened. You don't really feel like yourself anymore. Your energy drops, your confidence completely goes out the window, and any kind of motivation that you used to have to stay on track completely tanks. And unfortunately, this not only affects your body, this also affects your mindset, right? And I know possibly some of you have had maybe some trauma, excuse me, some trauma with serving, or now that you guys are off on your own, the feeling of being isolated by yourself, it kind of stinks that you're on your own now, right? So that can really really mess up your mentality, especially if you're trying to be happy, be healthy, and just stay on track with who you are and who you want to be. Okay. The reason why this happens, guys, I kind of mentioned this already, but the thing is, you didn't change, right? You have all of the things that you've been going through, like your memories and what you're good at, what you're not good at. And the thing is, with a lot of people, what happens is you're so used to exercising so much, you're so used to eating a good amount of food to compensate the exercise that you've had. But now that you're on your own, you don't have a plan, you don't have any accountability or anything like that. We're picking up weight, and that's just science, guys. Okay, you're used to burning anywhere between 3 to 5,000 calories per day. Now our exercise routine has disappeared, but we are still kind of continuing to eat as we were used to because that's what our body needs to feel full. But then what happens is now you're eating more calories than what your body needs to sustain your current muscle mass and fat and things like that. So over the course of 6 to 12 months, you might pick up 20 to 50 pounds, and then it just gets so much harder to get back on track. Okay. And here's what we need to understand, guys. Moving forward, we are no longer doing any kind of intense training. Okay. There's not like a test you need to pass. There's not some sort of, there's not like a championship football game. There's no like, I know I'm not talking to NFL players now, but there's nothing that we have to like train for or like set goals for because of a specific date. Okay. Now we are just trying to be healthy and maintain what we want, right? And so if we need to do that, guys, we need to start thinking about long-term health goals. Not, I need to lose 30 pounds in 4 months, but I need to lose 30 pounds in 6 months and be able to create a lifestyle to actually maintain that for the next 20 to 30 years. So it all falls back on consistency is always, always going to win over intensity. Okay. If you have a wedding coming up in 2 weeks and you're like, I need to get in shape for this wedding or for this graduation or whatever, instead of going super hard 3 times a week, and now you're sore all week and now you're tired, your motivation goes down, you don't really want to do it, but you have to because you want to look good, it's not going to work and you're going to create some negative mindset around exercise and nutrition. But if you are focusing on consistency, as in every morning and every evening, I'm going to go out for a 15-minute walk, that's going to be way easier to keep up with. It's going to be easier to maintain, okay? Your mindset's going to be in it because you're not sore, you're not exhausted, and because it's easier to maintain, you're actually going to end up seeing better results that way, okay? For you guys, and I know this is somewhat basic for some people, but the more calories we eat, right? If you eat more calories than what you actually end up burning, you're going to gain weight. If you eat less calories than what you're supposed to burn, you're going to lose weight. I know that's kind of basic, but sometimes I need to tell people that because they don't understand that, look, you're only burning 800 calories sitting at your desk from a 9 to 5 job, but you're eating 2,000 calories. You're going to gain weight. Okay. On the flip side, if you are burning 1,500 calories and you're only eating 1,500 calories, then you're most likely going to maintain weight or even lose weight. Okay. So understanding the science behind your body type is going to be really, really important. Okay. Especially so that you know what macros to focus on, how much of each macro to focus on, and when to eat these macros throughout the day. We can actually manipulate our body in a way that's going to help us to see results a lot more consistently. Okay. So if you guys have a goal to be, to lose 30 pounds or to get more toned or to have more energy or just to feel better over the next couple of months, that's a big goal. That's a very important goal. But if you don't have a plan to actually reach that goal, a weekly plan, a monthly plan, a daily plan, then it's not going to happen. This is just a fever dream that might not ever happen. All right. We're going to talk about flipping the script now, okay? Some of you might have been struggling either physically, mentally. Maybe you're not motivated. Maybe you think you're not good enough. Maybe you think it's like, why should I even try? Because I haven't been seeing results for the last couple of months, so why should I even keep going? Okay? This is a 3-step framework that I basically give to all of my clients. And yeah, we kind of go into detail with each one specifically for them. But this is a really amazing starting point if you just need something that's going to help you get started. Okay. First thing is going to be consistent movement. We kind of talked about consistency over intensity. So find something that is going to fit into your schedule. If you guys have calls every day from 8 to noon, and then you have an hour for lunch, and then you have more calls from 2 to 4, what I would suggest is put that in your calendar. Some of you probably do that. Some of you maybe not. But that way you can actually see, oh, look, from 7 to 8, I've got time. From 12 to 1, I've got time. From 4 to 6, I've got time. See, if you see it and then you schedule it, you'll be able to fit it in a lot more frequently. Either going for a walk, doing some yoga in your living room, going to the gym, doing some body weight exercises at home. It is very, very important that you keep moving. Even if you don't have energy, even if you don't feel like it, I promise motion is lotion. If you want to keep your joints strong, if you want to keep your core strong, if you want to prevent future things from happening, like I can't keep up with my kids or I can't carry all the groceries in because I'm too winded, then we need to make sure we are making time to fit in consistent movement. Okay. And now it's up to you to choose how intense you want to make that. But I would suggest keeping the intensity a little bit lower, even if that's not what you're used to, because you guys are used to like super intense, super fast paced, 7 days a week. But we're not there anymore. Okay. So I would rather you go out for a 15-minute walk or a 20-minute walk every single day than only going to the gym twice a week. The second thing is going to be sustainable nutrition. This is, in my opinion, probably more important than the movement. Because if you have a 9 to 5 job and you're at your desk all day long and you only went out for a 15-minute walk that day, nutrition is going to be the thing to help you lose body fat and feel more energized 100% every day. Okay. So planning out your macros for upcoming meals is going to be way easier to follow versus counting calories. Okay. So if 80% of what you focus on, if 80% of the calories that you ingest each day come from healthy, lean proteins, fast digesting carbs that are lower in calories like rice or potatoes, or sweet potatoes or bananas, those are all going to be really good. And healthy fats like avocados, nuts, oils, things like that. Your body's actually going to start working with you versus against you. Okay. If you're one of those people who say, I have a really slow metabolism, okay, then we need to be focusing on certain things that's going to help us boost our metabolism in a really healthy, natural way. Not medication, not doing hours of cardio, but focusing on strength training, focusing on lean protein, focusing on carbs that are actually going to support your fat loss goals versus contribute to an afternoon crash or late night cravings, because I am a sucker for cookies. I probably need to have a cookie every single night. That's just me. But I make sure that I am walking every day. I'm hydrating every day. I'm eating lean protein every day. That way, if I can stay really consistent with all my healthy habits, I can eat a cookie at night guilt-free, because I know this isn't going to add to my fat, because I'm in a really healthy routine that I'm attacking every single day. And the last thing is lifestyle habits. We kind of talked about this, but morning movement, hydration, lean protein. Even if you guys only have 10 minutes a day to stretch, just do it, because it's going to help. You're going to feel better. Your joints are going to thank you later on. Okay. I actually have a client. He's actually in here right now, and him and I hop on 1 hour calls every week, and we kind of talk about specifically what he can do in his life to make sure he's staying on track with his mindset, with his health, with body fat, all that kind of stuff. And the thing that's helped him out the most is writing down everything that he needs to do. So I told him, get a big calendar. I've got a big calendar here on my desk. Write down when you have classes, when you have meetings, when you're going to walk, when you're going to go shopping. Like, write it all down. That way you can see it and you have a plan. Okay. If you like writing or journaling, I really recommend that as well, because I know it's awkward for some people, but if you can write it down and read it and see it and speak it into existence, it is more likely going to happen than just thinking about it. So if I write on my calendar, go for a 20-minute walk at 8 a.m. every single day, I am more likely to stick to it versus I need to remember to go for a walk today. Okay. So building these powerful, healthy habits and placing them strategically into your already busy schedule, this is by far the easiest way to reach your goal and be able to sustain your goal over the course of a couple months, a couple of years, because it's not as intense. Okay. The other thing that I really love about this 3-step framework, guys, if we can think about consistent movement, planning out your macros throughout the week, throughout the day, and healthy lifestyle habits, I can promise you having that structure and seeing it on a calendar or in your journal is going to help your mindset so much more, because now you feel confident that you have a plan, it's easy to stick to, and that it will work. And all of these steps, guys, are going to be super important for just overall health, overall mindset, manage your stress. And in the long run, guys, if you are consistent with it, I had a call with a client the other day, and he goes, hey man, ever since I've lost 30 pounds and I'm feeling healthier, feeling more confident, sex with my wife has been way better. And I'm like, dude, there we go. That's a big thing, which is really awesome. But better connections with your spouse, right? Respect from your employees, respect from your kids, right? I don't think you guys would want to be the person to be like, hey, hey, son or daughter, it's okay if you're overweight and don't feel good, because if I'm doing it, that must mean it's okay, right? So set the example, show up, okay? Make the sacrifice, because in the long run, guys, it's going to be worth it, I promise. Here's some action steps you can start taking today, okay? If you don't know where to start, I actually have a book that I would love to share with you guys. It's on my website. I'm going to have a QR code here in a second for my book. But it kind of breaks down a lot of different things for people who don't really know where to get started. But one thing we can do is to write in your calendar, 10-minute bodyweight workout. You can do it at home. You can go to the gym if you'd like to. But we need to focus on building the structure and the schedule and the habit first, versus like, I need a six-pack, I need to lose 30 pounds. Because that kind of goal can seem overwhelming for a lot of people. And if it's overwhelming, it's going to be really hard to take those initial first steps. So I recommend, if you got 10 minutes of free time and you're like, I'm not feeling that great, I kind of want to move around a little bit, just whip out some jumping jacks, some push-ups, some leg lifts, run in place for 30 seconds, some squats, some lunges, just do something just to kind of move around. And guys, I get it. Sometimes exercising in the moment, yeah, I see you stretching. Okay. Sometimes in the moment it is It's tiring. It's exhausting. Maybe you don't even want to do it. But I promise you guys, once you're done, the endorphins kick in, right? You start feeling better, you start feeling energized, you start feeling more clear-minded, more motivated for the rest of the day. So I recommend, guys, if you don't have time to do any of this kind of stuff, do a 10-minute routine in your living room in the morning before you get started with anything. Just get it done, get it over with. That way you feel good for the rest of the day. You don't regret not doing it at the end of the day. And now you can, we're building that morning habit. The second thing is going to be some go-to meals that you can rely on. Okay, we kind of talked about some macros at the beginning, right? Here is a pro tip for people who don't know. Some of you may know this already, but if you want to have high energy, boost your metabolism for fat loss, we need to be eating at least 1 gram of protein per body pound. So if you weigh 150 pounds and you want to lose fat and get more toned, you should be eating 150 grams of protein per every day. Some people, that's a lot of food. But if we break it up, let's say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, each of them are 40 grams of protein with a protein shake or a protein bar as a snack. There's 150 grams. Okay. But some go-to meals you can rely on are going to be some, crock pot chicken and veggies. Sometimes we do chicken breast. Sometimes we get a rotisserie chicken, but we just shred it up. We throw in some veggies with some chicken broth and we cook it up for 4 hours and it's done. Okay. Some ground beef and rice is going to be really awesome as well. That's going to be lean protein. The rice is a fast digesting carb, which means it's going to be lower calorie and you're not going to feel bloated. It's going to provide you with some long-term energy. And then salmon sweet potato with veggies is also one of my go-to meals. My wife is a celiac, which means she is gluten-free. She can't digest any gluten, and she's allergic to all nuts. So by default, I guess I am also gluten-free. But we stay pretty healthy in our household because we focus a lot on lean proteins, veggies, and just healthier carbs that are going to support your energy and your fat loss goals at the same time. Okay. Plus, salmon is high in protein and also high in healthy fats. So if your joints hurt, if you want to lose body fat, if you have low energy, things like that, salmon or shrimp or tuna, those are all going to be amazing options that are going to be high in protein and high in healthy fats that are going to help with those issues. And the last thing is going to be the morning check-in habits, okay? On the last slide, we talked about these healthy habits. I promise you guys, healthy habits will help you stay consistent and you'll be able to create long-term results versus intense 30-day challenges or intense workouts or going out for a 5-mile run, which if you love running, that's awesome. But I can't see anyone running 5 miles every single day for the rest of their life. I can see people going out for a 20-minute walk every day for the rest of their life. That's easy. Okay. So set an alarm, wake up a little bit earlier, get it done. Okay. Get some sort of accountability, either a friend or your spouse, or get a coach or go to a class or just do something to help you stay accountable. Okay. Make checklists, get a calendar. Okay. But do so, like write it out, do something to where you can be like, oh, I accomplished this today. I accomplished this today. Okay. I don't know if that's part of your skill bridge or anything like that, but I can imagine a lot of people really perform well when they have structure and they have checklists and they have things to do that they can just kind of mark off as they go. Then when you're done, you feel accomplished and you can go to bed and you feel really good about the day. Okay? All right. We're almost done here. This is why this matters, guys. It is so important because if you rely on motivation to eat healthy, go to the gym, exercise, all this kind of stuff, you're not going to see much results because motivation goes up and down, up and down. Some days I don't feel like doing anything. Some days I feel badass and I'm ready to go. But discipline is what's going to help you create that long-term result, okay? Building the healthy habits and seeing the long-term results, okay? Discipline is hard to master, but here's the thing, guys. No one in the world has mastered discipline. Discipline is something you work on every single day. People who are in the gym who are shredded or in the most amazing shape of their lives, they don't have motivation. They go to the gym every day because it's part of their lifestyle, it's part of their healthy habit, it's part of their routine, and they are just really good at staying disciplined. Okay? So, if we rely on discipline, we focus on healthy habits, if we put it in our schedule, if we have structure, you'll have more clarity throughout the day. You'll have more energy throughout the day for work, for your kids, for your family. Okay? We talked about better connections with your spouse, with your kids. And more importantly, guys, I think having just the confidence that you are good enough, you have confidence to lead. If you're in sales, you have confidence to get up on stage, make a sale. People don't want to work with people if they cannot take care of their health. Sorry. Okay. I'm in sales, and I know a lot of other people in the online coaching space, like Russell Brunson and Alex Hormozi, and a bunch of other people who follow those types of people. And if they aren't presenting themselves in a confident, energized way, they're not going to make any money. So if you're trying to figure out how can I be more confident, how can I be not so shy, how can I step up and be more who I want to be, start looking inward, start focusing on your health, start focusing on your fitness. I promise everything else in your life is going to get better. And this is the TruFit method, guys. This is why I created the TruFit Academy. This is why the TruFit method works, because it is sustainable, it's easy to keep up with, and we focus on long-term health, long-term mindsets. Okay, because it's not about just looking good. It's not about just looking sexy. Like everyone wants that. I get it. But it's about staying in control of your health, of your energy, of your mindset. Because if your mindset's not right, if your health is not right, you're gonna snap at your kids, you're gonna not want to show up for work, you're gonna blow a sale, like things are not gonna work out in your life because you are not where you should be. Okay? And out of my 15 years of coaching, I say most people will fail at this because they either don't have a plan or they don't have any accountability. So that is step one. Get a plan, find someone to keep you accountable. Okay. Here are some people that I've worked with in the past, guys. I'm showing this not because I want to like show off, but I'm just saying this is what's possible if we start focusing on your health. Start focusing on your healthy habits, on your morning routine, on your macros, focusing on movement. Okay. A lot of these people spent anywhere between 4 to 12 months working with me, all different kinds of ages, and you can see fat loss is inevitable for sure, but people are happier. They feel better. They're standing taller. Their posture is better. They're performing better. Everything in their life is getting better just because they started focusing on their health. Okay. So here's my invitation for all you guys. I got a QR code here if you want to scan it, but I do help people one-on-one for anywhere between 3 to 6 months. What we'll do is we're going to hop on a call, kind of identify where you're stuck, what kind of goals you want to see over the next couple months, and we will build you a custom-made plan just for you. We'll have weekly coaching calls. I'll give you some lifestyle protocols that you can start following, some nutrition guidelines, but everything we're going to be building is specifically made for you so that you can reach your goals, feel motivated about it, feel happy about it, and also create a lifestyle that will serve you long term. Okay? And if you're not ready for one-to-one coaching, totally fine. I totally get it. My book is available on my website. If you want to scan that QR code right there, you can get access to my book. I believe it's on sale right now, actually, because I'm doing like a holiday sale at the moment. But in my book, guys, it's about 100 pages. It's not terribly long, but we talk about how to burn body fat. Talk about your body type. There are 3 different types of body types, and depending on which one you are, will depend on how you should structure your exercise and how you should structure your macros. So it's really important to know that. How to build your own workout routine based off what motivates you. Okay? We definitely talk about macros and recipes, and the thing that I love the most about my book is the healthy habit tracker. Okay? If you guys like checklists, if you guys like easy things to follow without committing to like a program, the healthy habit tracker is definitely something that you're going to need. Okay, so you guys can scan that QR code right there if you want to check out my book. And that is it. Any, any questions? Let's see here. I know a lot of people were typing in here. I can read through
Yeah.
some of this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um,
All right. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Shaquan.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Johnny. How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty amazing, like pretty good. Like I honestly feel that you came specifically today just to speak with me. Like that's literally how I feel because I think the thing in the military is like I'm not like out of shape. I'm like I'm like kind of like semi in shape. Like if I took a test right now, I can probably pass. I would more than likely pass. And it's like I find it like strange where like I know for myself personally that if there's a goal, like if there's an AFT coming up, I know exactly what to do. If there's something specifically said, like I have very like windowed like fitness. So like if the goal is a month or 3 months, I got you. But then after I achieve that goal and I get probably one of the highest scores that I've ever gotten, right after I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing now? Now when I go to the gym, if not the same. So then I get stuck into a certain routine and then I stop going as much as I know that I can. And like I love how you're speaking about go like finding routines that always keeps you moving. Like even though I know some people on the call might have seen you come. I wasn't here the last time that you came. Keep coming. Keep coming. And what my biggest question would be is how do I how do I keep moving even without that next thing, even that next thing that I have to achieve? Or let's say the next thing that I have isn't until 6 months. So right now, I don't have something set for the next few weeks. More of like that lifestyle switch and mentality. Because also too, because I don't want to take up too much time. I think also in the military, we're used to getting up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and doing a ruck and going for a 4 mile run. Like, and then now we may get up and then go straight to work. So then we're out of that routine and that habit. So then, in a sense, confuses us where we feel like we missed that window to even do our exercises.
That's a really, really good question. If you feel like you need to wake up early to go do something because that's part of your structure and that's part of your lifestyle, then keep going because it's going to work if it works with you, right? But if you feel like you're at a point where it's like, okay, well, I just did this for 3 months and now I passed my test and now I don't have anything to do or train for another 4 to 6 months, we can always switch things up to make sure you're staying motivated, but also staying healthy and strong, right? So when I work with my clients, let's say someone signs up for a full year, the full year is split up into 4 quarters, right? So for 3 months, we're working on foundational fitness like joint strength, balance, core strength, things like that, and like body weight stuff. And then we move into like free weights, and then we'll do like plyometrics, and then we'll do machines, right? So we're always switching things up so that it stays interesting, but also your body won't plateau. Because if you do the same thing over and over and over, you might get stronger or whatever, but also you're gonna plateau, and then now you like I don't know what else, I don't know where else to go. So this is when it can get fun. You can start challenging yourself with different things in the gym that maybe it's not what you're used to, but because it's different, it's going to be challenging, and then that's also what's going to motivate you to like get better at that one thing.
Yeah, so also I love that you just hit that, right, Johnny? I love that you just hit that because also too another thing, I honestly feel like sometimes I may get bored with a certain routine. So I may like try like kettlebell just for a few days and I'm like, wow, I like this too. But then I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't like my last exercise routine. Wait, am I really behind? am I really like, I know I can do more because like I get more intensity when I'm like sweating hard, breathing, feeling like I'm about to pass out. I love that. Like that's the thing I'm more so like into. You can call me crazy or whatnot, but that's when I feel like I'm getting the most out of it. Like doing stairmats for just 45 minutes and I'm breathing hard, sweating hard. I'm like, yeah, today gonna be an amazing day. And my confidence is up.
Yes.
My mental is right. That's what I love.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I encourage you to keep doing that because that feeling that you get about like, I feel awesome, I feel empowered, I feel strong, I feel like I had an awesome workout, I could go off and have an amazing day. Those are the feelings that usually motivate me to go start my workout when I'm not really feeling up for it, right? It's like, oh, I know what's going to happen, so I need to make sure I do it right so that I can feel this way afterwards.
Again, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming. Keep coming because you never know the soldier that you're actually coming to speak to. Like you just never know. Like, because I honestly feel like deep down in my heart, like you literally came specifically today to talk to me because this has been a struggle area for at least like maybe the past like week or so, where I've been like on and off, and I'm just trying to get something going. So I truly appreciate your time, and I sent you a follow on LinkedIn, and I look forward to connecting.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot. Well, I'll reach out soon. Thank you.
Shaquan, always a pleasure. Jamel, you got a question?
Hey Johnny. First and foremost, guns up, Texas Tech baby.
Hey, they're doing pretty good, man.
They all right. The question I've got, right? So this my issue comes down to I'll get a plan, I'll have accountability partners, I'll have all this stuff. I will start working out, and then I will get hurt. And I'm not going to the gym sitting here trying to act like I'm back in my 20s. I'm level 41. I'm good. I'm done with all that. I just need to be moving, right? And so I'm not doing high weight nothing. What do you say to someone like me who every time we get in the gym and we start doing things and our body starts hurting to the point that like literally walking is not an option? Because that's where I'm at.
What is specifically hurting?
Oh, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, neck, and back.
So your whole body?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, can I ask, are you in the process of trying to lose a good amount of weight, or are you pretty happy with your current weight?
I want to lose about 20 pounds, but at the same time, like if you look at me, I don't look like I need to lose weight. I'm 197,
Okay.
5'6". So
Yeah.
I'm or sorry, 5'9". 5'8". I'm 5'8". Look, my memory's bad. Anyways, I'm 5'8", 197. I like how I like my size. I like all that stuff. But like I said, for me, it's just trying to get back into being active because like everybody says, lotion is lotion. But when I start trying to lotion my joints, I'm laid up on the couch taking pain medication or just trying to get back to day one.
Okay. Do you take a daily vitamin?
No.
Let's start there. Okay. We got to make sure that our body has all the vitamins and minerals that we need to perform just to perform in a natural way. Okay. You can also get that from your food. So make sure we're eating, good proteins, good fruits and vegetables as well. Because once you start fueling your body in a good way, your body's gonna kind of thank you and return the favor. Okay. So that's gonna be one thing. The other thing is we are kind of talking about being more consistent over intensity, right? So if I were you, man, like I would just do 2 to 3 sets of whatever you're trying to do at higher reps, lower weight, just to maintain the muscle mass that you have, just to kind of activate your muscle fibers a little bit. And then maybe you can go walk on the treadmill at the end for a little bit just to kind of cool down. Doing that more frequently, I think your body will be able to adjust and the pain will kind of just naturally go away because now we're kind of like focusing on strengthening all of those pain points.
Yeah, that's kind of where I've been. Like I'll start a new thing, I'll be good for like 2 weeks, and then I'm out for a month and a half, 2 months.
Rough.
So
Okay.
yeah, but the multivitamins I wasn't doing that, so I can at least look into that and see about that stuff. So
Multivitamins. I also recommend getting a multivitamin with ashwagandha in it as well, because that's going to help with body and mind and mind stress. That also probably help you sleep a little bit better as well, because it could be a recovery issue. A lot of people who train really hard and exercise a lot, even though they see good results, they're not sleeping that well, so their body's actually kind of hurting. So make sure we are being consistent with being active, fueling our body properly with a good amount of vitamins and minerals, but then also making sure we're recovering properly as well. So we got to make sure we're eating. I mean, we're sleeping 8 hours a night, not 5 or 6. Okay, a full 8 hours. If that means going to bed earlier or wake or or whatever, get off your phone, go to bed earlier, spend some time, and just properly rest as well. But you know what? That's a really good question, and I'd love to talk more about that with you to see what we can do to kind of figure that out. Add me on LinkedIn, please. Or if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, TruFit Academy. That's on Instagram. Um, and maybe we can hop on a call and just kind of I'll ask a couple more questions and we can hopefully figure it out.
Yeah, and to add on to that, it's like sometimes we need to throttle back and like look at maybe I need to learn to walk again, right? Because if you've had this chronic pain for so long, your body tends to figure out a way to do it pain free, and that might not necessarily be the proper way to do things from a biomechanical standpoint.
Right.
So you might have to throttle all the way back and learn how to sit again, learn how to walk again, and teach your body the proper mechanics, and then work your way out of that rut.
That's another really good thing because I know, like for me, for example, when I walk, I kind of walk more on the outer parts of my foot, like this, meaning I need to strengthen my ankles and my inner thighs a little bit more. So if you are exercising in a certain way and you feel like you're sore, but you shouldn't be sore, or you didn't really work out the muscle you were wanting to work out, you might be overcompensating for weaker parts of your body. So identifying that is going to be tough by yourself. So we need to have someone like go to the gym and ask someone to just like look at your walk from the front and from the back to see if there's any underdeveloped muscles that you can start working on.
yeah,
Right.
it's something I've considered because when I get to San Antonio, I plan on trying to find a sports rehab person, not a physical trainer, but an actual rehab specialist, um, to see if to unf my body.
Right. Right.
Okay, Tessa.
Hi. So I have a background. I'm avid CrossFitter. I was a college athlete before joining the military. So my
Cool.
question is more towards the macros aspect of your program. Do you work with any females or any individuals who have endocrine disorders such as like PCOS, who struggle with the insulin resistance that need a different percentage when it comes to macros?
Not specifically that issue, but I have had other females come through my program who are either diabetic or they have, certain health restrictions that we need to just address. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I don't know all the facts with what's going on, which is why I love to like research and learn about it and seeing how I can apply that knowledge to the program. But yeah, usually we try to make sure that we are one addressing all the macros that we need to be hitting, but also making sure that we are addressing that issue as well. And if that is because if we need to do that through food or through supplements or through anything else, then we can always look at that to try to make sure we're creating like a well balanced plan.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
What did you do in what did you play in college?
Soccer.
That's where at.
It was a school in South Carolina called Erskine.
Very cool. That you don't have any knee replacements or ACL tears or nothing?
High ankle sprain, that's it.
Okay, well, thank goodness.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Tessa.
you.
Hey, Lauren, you got a question?
Hi. So my question is, would you agree that maybe once, maybe twice a week, uh, doing like a mobility type of exercise instead of more of strength or cardio, just to help with those joint issues. Because when I was deployed, I used to have the issues of where my joints would constantly be in some type of sore or pain. And when I was deployed for that year, it was definitely I tried doing different things, different exercises, but when I started doing the mobility aspect and doing that like 2, 3 times a week, maybe in the morning as my yoga per
Yeah.
se. I can't do yoga. And then doing my exercise in the afternoon, it definitely I felt more of an improvement doing mobility exercises just to strengthen those muscles. Do you agree that doing a type of mobility at least once a week or twice a week would be beneficial for those type of issues?
100%. If you are going to the gym, let's say 5 days a week, you could probably do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's a little bit more intense. And then Tuesday, Thursday could be like an active recovery day where you're still doing some body weight stuff, but it's also more focused on um, like stability and joint strength and yeah, and like dynamic stretching and things like that, because that's gonna just being more flexible in your joints is what's actually going to help you gain strength. Because if your range of motion is limited in your shoulders or your hips or anything like that, it's going to be really hard to see any kind of progress in your lifting routine or your agility routine or anything like that as well. So some people like doing it before their workout, which I think is a really good warm up. I don't. I usually do it after my workout. I'll like hop on the treadmill for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll go do my weight session. And then afterwards, like as a cool down, I will go and stretch for maybe 15 minutes, doing some stuff on the floor with a foam roller or with like a TRX or anything like that. But definitely joint strength is so important. I can't tell you how many times I've had clients who are like, I'm really in shape and I feel really good and I'm toned and all this kind of stuff. And then they tweak their back unloading the dishwasher. It's like we got to make sure we're not just strength training, but we're also stretching and like stretching and working on, some finer movements that are typically not like working out, but they are really, really important. For example, like single leg, straight leg deadlifts, right? Like you could go pretty heavy on those, which is a pretty good workout. But if you're doing them without any weight at all, now you're basically just working on balance and core strength, which are both going to be really, really good as well, especially if you are a soccer player or anything like that as well.
Yeah, and I think it helps to differentiate between mobility and flexibility. Like for you to be mobile, you would need a good amount of flexibility, but you being mobile is being able to do work at those end range of motions that you would need to be flexible in, if that makes sense. Mobility is the ability to do work at those ends of ranges of motion.
Right. And you need one to do the other. So you
Right.
can't just focus on stretching and you also can't just focus on mobility. You actually need to be doing both because one is going to help the other 100%.
Right. So just
So
getting to
even
that.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So even like being on the ground and doing some hip movements like back and forth like this or doing some like rotating planks just for like your shoulders and stuff. Like there's a lot of different things that we can do for that, but um mobility is kind of funny because it's kind of a combo of stretching and movement, but it's definitely focusing on that range of motion without applying any kind of weight to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I even did
Exactly what I
it.
was gonna say.
I did it with when I was a PTL back at my old station. I even did it where we did a mobility actual exercise. We didn't go run or do your normal Air Force PT stretches that we do all the time, but
Right.
I actually got a video up and I'm like, okay, guys, we're gonna be doing this mobility, and they're like, oh, it's just stretching. And then while we're doing it, everyone's like, oh my God, I can't even bend like that. It's like, well, there's alternate exercises to these movements that could possibly get you to that mobility exercise that we're currently doing. So there is alternates to certain exercises that you can still do, but at least you're still doing it to get to that point of mobility or flexibility.
For
Right.
sure. Yeah. I actually have a client right now, and she has some weight loss goals that she's trying to reach, but her wrists are really weak, and her like I think her mom has osteoporosis, so she's afraid of her bones getting weaker. So we're doing some things nutritionally and with weights to make sure that doesn't happen, but also she can't do push-ups. It's hard for her to even do planks. So I just recommend doing like things on your back, like leg lifts or even like chest press on your back, because that way you're not putting, over 100 pounds of weight on your wrist. But there's always alterations that you can do with different exercises if you have limitations.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so we are a little over time, but Johnny, I want to ask the last thing. If there is one thing that everybody can change, the easy fix that everybody can make that'll make the biggest impact, what would you say it'd be?
Walking in water. And I know it sounds simple, but my wife and I go to Florida twice a year because she's got a family down there, and everyone in Florida is just in good. Not everyone, but there's a lot of all the people that we know that are in amazing shape, who are 10% body fat. They've got good muscle definition. They're flexible. They're a little older, but they don't look older. It's because they've been walking their entire lives and staying hydrated.
All right.
I know it's kind of simple, but I mean, if you can
I mean,
drink,
all of it is. Grand scheme of things, it's just life gets in the way and the easy becomes super
but
difficult.
if you can drink 2 liters of water a day, that's going to be prime. Yeah, MyFitnessPal is a good food tracking app.
Oh, yes, that was another thing. What is the macro tracker that you recommend using, or you like to use?
So I don't like tracking macros. I think it's easier to just like know that this 4 gram or this 4 ounce piece of chicken, has 20 grams of protein. And it's easy to like visualize what you have on your plate if you just understand what you're doing. But I think MyFitnessPal is a good way to get started, just to like learn and like educate yourself on like what is how much.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a free version, and I also think there's a paid version. The paid version, I'm pretty sure you can just like take photos of your food and it will tell you, or you can scan a QR code and it will just tell you, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, personally, when I was going to school for my doing my strength and conditioning classes, we used a chronometer, and that you can take a picture or you can scan the barcode and it'll automatically upload with all the macros and all the nutrition facts and stuff like that. So if anybody's looking for one, highly recommend chronometer because it's super easy.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. And again, guys, last thing I want to say, if anyone wants to have a one-to-one conversation with me, please just find me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me about that. We can figure out a time. We can hop on a quick call. If you guys have questions or anything you want to, specifically ask me, we can figure that out. I've got so many different options in terms of like calls and programs and short-term programs, and there's so many different options for that I have for people that is going to be budget friendly, and hopefully it will just work out for you guys.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. It was good hearing from you again. Everybody, Johnny Els, hit him up on LinkedIn, buy his book or not, whatever. But we're about to go on lunch. So
Cool.
Everybody, make sure you get your macros in, get some water, and come back at 2 o'clock Eastern. So whatever, an hour from now.